Right then, check, 1, 2. So this is my first attempt at drawing patterns with some turntables. So well, it's not my first attempt, but it's the first attempt where I pointed the camera out and filmed it. So I'll start off for you. Basically, just as if you can't see this from the video, there's a bit of perspex, and it's joined onto the record with a bolt there. So it sort of spins round and would just on its own just sort of go backwards and forwards. And there's another one, and they're joined together with this pivot here. So it's sort of like scissors, and it sort of goes like this. So if I just set it off, I'm not sure if the camera can see that, will it? At first it just looks like sort of scribbling, but after say 10 minutes or so, or not even that, a couple of minutes, it's really just start to get pretty mad and shaded, almost looking like a loop of stringy material or something like that. So its range of motion is limited because it's only getting sort of an X, you know, a sort of one-way motion and the other way motion. So really, to make it draw some more interesting patterns, it needs some more aspects of motion put in there. So say on the record, which I'm not going to point at now because pointing at the pattern's a bit more interesting. If it had some other things that create more circular motion, this pattern would look a whole lot weirder and different and twisted over. Not to put too fine a point on it, but it's very similar to, this is a photograph of some like laser drawings where somebody's sort of driving the X and the Y and creating patterns that look, well, totally, almost exactly the same as these ones here. So that's about it really. But to add to it, Brendan and his little lad thought it was pretty staggering. I was like, nah. But, well, I'm not going to argue with him, but really what he was saying was get it in a project room and like tell him about it, set it up so it's working, get it so that people can go and have a crack of it basically, and yeah. And seeing as though I've never rented a project room before, then you know, might be a good idea. It's pretty mesmerising. I've been sat in it sitting here for about 2 hours now playing with it. It's got a few issues. Number one, because of the angle, it's the depth's rubbing there. It's probably making a bit of static electricity. It's not great. Probably rubbing there. I don't really asked about that. It works, so that's the main point. So here's a quick look at some other patterns I've drawn with it. Well, they're no different to that pattern. I've just sort of changed the pen a bit. Yeah. So if you really got some great desire to make patterns with some Technics, then go for it. Right, well, I think I'll call it a day with that. In a bit.